This Dax is a genius and I'll tell you why. After watching this video right here by Most Booked, I realized something very strange. First off, the video was uploaded very recently, just 3 weeks ago, and he has over 60,000 views, and that was the only video on his channel. So that brings me to only one conclusion. It simply means that the person that Most Booked is talking about in that video must be a very relevant person in the forex industry. Dax is one of the biggest forex trader in Nigeria. He claimed to have made over $250,000 in a trade, and he's driving over a 100 million naira car, traveling to Dubai, the typical lifestyle of a forex trader. So this got me very intrigued and I decided to investigate. So during my investigation, I decided to pay more attention on Twitter instead of Instagram, because Instagram will show you all the lifestyle of a forex trader, but Twitter will show you the mindset behind that trader. So after watching that video right there, I decided to follow this Dax on all social media platforms. So I decided to focus more on Twitter because I wanted to know what the mindset of this profitable trader even is. It didn't even take that long. I noticed some consistency in his tweets. He keeps talking about how the 10 trade rules is saving life, how the concept of 10 trades help him reduce overthinking, and why he takes the 10 trade rule very seriously. So I learned what the 10 trade rule is and I consider this very genius. Now let me explain what the secret or the concept of 10 trades is, or as Dax would like to call it, the 10 trades rule, right? So the idea is to have 10 trades, right? So in a period of 10 trades, as long as you cannot lose 10 trades, you are safe, right? As long as you cannot lose 10 trades back to back, you are safe. Now all you have to do is take 10 trades, and by the way, you need to have a working strategy, right? So that's the first step. Go learn a strategy that actually works, right? Go learn a strategy that actually works, and then here's how it works. I'll be using a very realistic example, right? Not having a 1:13 risk to reward ratio. I'll be using a 1:2 risk to reward ratio. I'll be using a negative win rate to explain this concept and how it can still keep you profitable at the end of the day. So if I come over here right now, you can see that in this case, in this example, you can clearly see that this guy or me, I had 6 losses and I had only 4 wins, right? Not even half. I didn't even have 5 wins and 5 losses. I had only 4 wins here and I had 6 losses, and I'm only targeting 1:2 risk to reward ratio, right? So in this case, you expect that I might come out negative, but let me explain what that means, right? So in this case, imagine I'm risking just 2% per trade, right? I'm risking just 2% per trade in every single trade. So in this trade, I risk 2%. This trade, every single trade, I'm risking 2% per trade, right? And I have, in this case now, I'm assuming I have a 40% win rate, right? Which simply means out of 10 trades, I'm likely to win only 4. That's what 40% win rate means. So look at this example. I took 1 trade, I lost. Second trade, lost. Third trade, lost. Fourth trade, fifth trade, all of them were losses. And the ones I win out of the 10 trades, I won only 4 out of the 10 trades in total, right? So these are the results of those trades, right? So if I have a 40% win rate and I'm risking 2% per trade, I'll be down minus 12% in that account, right? I'll be down minus 12%. And if I win four wins, if I have 4 wins, just like this one right here, well, you know that I'm winning plus 4% on each trade, right? Which will keep my balance at plus 16% in profit, which by the end of the day, even if I had a 40% win rate, which is a negative win rate, I'll still be up plus 4% in profit on my account, right? So that's how the concept will save you from not being too scared of losing trades. So even if the trades were losers, most of the trades were losers, I was still able to come out in profit by the end of 10 trades plus 4% in profit. So let's use a half win rate as the next example. So in this case, 1:2 risk reward ratio again, having a 50% win rate. If I take 5 trades and I lost all 5, I'll be down minus 10%. And if I take 5 trades and I won the 5 again, I'll be up plus 20%. This is having a 50% win rate, which simply means out of 10 trades, I lost 5 and I won 5, right? And my account will be up plus 10% in profit. So if you can make up to 5% in a month, it simply means you are a very good trader, right? So, but this concept that I just finished explaining right here, there are other things to still consider, right? There are still other things to consider while using this strategy. Now, what I just explained, the examples I gave were 40% win rate, which is a negative win rate, and a half percent win rate, which simply means you lost and won half, right, of the trade. But there are other things to consider, because you could actually have a higher win rate, like up to 60%, right? You could have a higher win rate of up to 60%, which will keep your balance above 10%, by the way, right? The second thing to consider is that you could also have a bigger risk to reward ratio, right? You could be targeting 1:3 instead of 1:2, right? The example I gave was 1:2 risk to reward ratio, right? The third example, you could actually be lucky. Like these gold traders recently, they have been winning, they have win streaks, right? They've been having win streaks. So you could actually be lucky by winning more trades than you lost, right? Then the fourth thing to actually also consider is you could be risking more than 2% per trade. The example I gave was me risking 2% per trade, right? You could actually be risking more than 2% per trade, maybe 5% per trade. And if you're even risking 5% per trade, that will simply mean that your balance, if you have a 50% win rate, you will be up plus 50% on your account, right? You'll be up plus 50% on your account if you're risking 5% per trade. Now, if you are using a 1:3 risk to reward ratio, right? If you are using a 1:3 risk to reward ratio instead of a 1:2 like I gave, right? You only need three wins out of your 10 trades to be profitable, right? I know that sounds hard to believe. Out of your 10 trades, if you take 10 trades and you're using a 1:3 risk reward ratio, you only need to win just 3 trades out of that 10 to be profitable. That's crazy to think about, isn't it?
But if you don't understand my explanation, you can go and watch this video right here by Dax. He explained it by himself, right? It's going to be the first link in the description.
So that simply means that out of 10 trades, if you're using a 1:3 risk reward ratio, it means that even if you lose 7 trades, you took one trade, you lost, next trade, you lost, next trade, lost, and you just won 3 trades out of the 10 trades, you'll still come out positive by the end of the day. So you see how genius this sounds, and that's why I call this Dax a genius, right? So that's pretty much it for this video. Remember to subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free, and come back to the channel next time. I do weekly analysis, analyze all these pairs and show you which best pair to see for this new week, right? So that's pretty much it, guys.